Welcome to the beautiful Marella Discovery 2, and in this video I'm going to show you around the recently refurbished cabins on board, which do look really good. However, there's one massive flaw. I was staying in cabin 7132, which is an aft-facing balcony cabin, and walking in I was very impressed with this modern colour scheme. The bed itself was actually really comfortable, and it came with 4 plump pillows and some scatter cushions. And the cabin itself is actually a pretty decent size. And there's some more cushions on top of the sofa, which also converts into a bed. And there's plenty of storage for your suitcases under the bed. And there's a lamp with a reading light on top of the nightstand, which has both a shelf and a drawer. And there's also switches for the lights and a USB-A and a USB-C socket. On the opposite wall there's a full-length mirror and with a flat screen TV that has some news channels, a couple of movie channels, plus several Marella channels with information about the ship. And there's a desk area, a large circular mirror and a chair. And over on this side of the bed is the same lamp and nightstand configuration. And I really appreciated the addition of the USB sockets to make sure that all of my devices were charged. Looking back to the entrance of the cabin, and to the left you can see some storage and a tea service. I really like the grey wood effect on the cabinet. It reminds me very much of MSC. There's a cupboard up above, and below there's the phone. And you can use this to call reception, room service or housekeeping. The tea service consists of a kettle, 2 mugs, 2 glasses and a carafe of water. And below that is another couple of storage cupboards. And there's also a UK 3-pin plug socket. There's also a rather basic thermostat to control the temperature of the cabin, and below is the switch for the bathroom lights. Heading into the bathroom, and I'll be honest, it's definitely on the small side. Here you're going to find a couple of face cloths, a couple of glasses, and all the storage you're going to find in the bathroom. Which, to be fair, really isn't a lot. The shower cubicle is an okay size and it does come with a glass door. The shower itself is pretty powerful and the controls are easy to use. And there's also a bottle mounted on the wall with body wash, shampoo, probably conditioner, but of course feel free to bring your own. And there's also a line for hanging up any wet clothes you have. There's also some fluffy towels and of course the all-important loo. And to the right here is an oblong mirror which sits above the basin. There's a monoblock tap that sits above that, but there's not much space here for anything other than your soap dish. And in the cupboard below there's a small bin and some additional toilet rolls. And there's also a small circular mirror and a shaver socket too. And opposite the bathroom are wardrobes and more storage space. And over by the door are a couple of hangers for you to let your cabin steward know if you'd like the room to be made up or if you'd like to not be disturbed. There are the room light switches below that. And on the back of the door is a safety information regarding your muster station and life jackets. The first of the 3 wardrobes is tall and thin, ideal for dresses or for jackets. In the next wardrobe there are 2 life jackets, and beneath that there's a rail with some hangers. It's ideal for hanging up things like shirts and blouses. There are 2 drawers beneath this. And in the third wardrobe, there are 2 more life jackets And beneath this is another hanging rail with some more hangers, although the space is actually quite shallow. And this is where the safe is. It's a good size for your personal items, but probably not big enough for a laptop. And there are 2 more drawers below this. Over by the desk area, there's yet more storage space, and of course the hairdryer. And having a mirror here I know is essential for many people, although the actual desk itself is pretty small and narrow. And I'm pleased to say that there's plenty of storage in this cabin. Also found here is this great looking lamp and a light switch. There's also another UK 3-pin plug socket and another pair of USB A and C sockets. And the desk itself has a thin drawer. For most of my cruise, this is how the cabin was set up because there were 3 adults sharing the room. And while it did mean that there wasn't quite the usual amount of area to sit and relaxing, it was perfect for our situation. And the sofa bed itself was perfectly comfortable for our 5-night cruise. And while I imagine that the cabin steward would have been happy enough to turn the bed back into a sofa and vice versa, I tended to do it myself. And now I'm going to head outside to my large aft-facing balcony. Came with 2 tables, 2 chairs and 2 sun loungers. And this was a really great space to sit outside with a drink and just watch the world drift by. And one of my concerns was being overlooked, but in actual fact that wasn't the case. But now it's time to talk about the biggest problem with this cabin, which unlike on my previous sayings with Marella, there are no fridges in the cabins. As you can see from my previous clip, I'd like to get items from the grab and go section at the snack shack to keep in the fridge. I really like having a sandwich or a wrap for a cheeky late night snack, but I don't really want it at room temperature. The fridge was also really useful for storing any room service leftovers, and the cakes from the great musical afternoon tea that we just couldn't finish at the time, but sadly just went in the bin. And sadly, not having a fridge meant you couldn't keep your beers cold either. I have actually read that you can request for one of the limited number of fridges to be put into your cabin, especially if you need to keep medicines cool. Alternatively, medicines can be kept with reception and then collected when required. There's going to be some literature inside the cabin, and the first of this is Life on Board, which gives a general overview of the ship and the activities on board. There's even a sneak peek of something that's not actually on the ship yet. Each day in your cabin you'll get a copy of Cruise News, which will give you a general overview of the day ahead. There's a times guide which will let you know when the ship's venues are open and what time you can dine or go to any of the other eateries. There's also the notice board for the latest information and a list of the activities on during the day. And here you can quickly find out which entertainment each evening is on and where. And being all-inclusive, the party on Marella does go on until the early hours. And the back page just has some more general information. Room service is available. Unfortunately, they don't do a free breakfast as on other cruise lines, which does seem a little odd considering that this is an all-inclusive cruise. Please note that anything you order will be added to the bill at the end of your cruise. And something else to be aware of is that there aren't any passenger laundrettes, although there is a wash and fold service and dry cleaning available. And you can do this by completing the form that's found in the cabin. And yes, you still get the turn down service with a tailed animal and chocolates. Overall, I think the refurbished cabins look great. But that's not enough to gloss over the fact that the loss of the fridge is a huge issue to me. And if I needed medicines to be kept cool, I definitely wouldn't be sailing on board this ship. I just think that Marella have really messed this up. And please let me know in the comments below how you feel about this. Is having a fridge inside your cabin something that's important to you, or are you just somebody that's not that fussed? If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on.